Hi, and welcome to the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs for the City of Seattle's I-912 fee waiver training. We will speak about fee waivers in the context of citizenship workshops today, but much of this information is relevant to any other fee waiver. First, what is a fee waiver? USCIS allows eligible low-income people to apply for certain immigration benefits, including citizenship, without paying the filing fee. Form I-912, or the fee waiver application, is submitted along with the N-400, or citizenship application, instead of a check or money order. Before we go further, I want to begin with a conversation about tracking form. The tracking form is not a USCIS document, but is a document prepared by the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. This document is the only record we have of citizenship clients because we do not keep copies of their N-400 or I-912 applications. It is critically important that we take account of every client, including checking all of the boxes, leaving notes, and leaving instructions for the next station. We do not have any other record of the clients who come to our citizenship workshops. It's very important that every volunteer fills out the tracking form for every client. Because we complete fee waivers after we've completed N-400 applications at citizenship workshops, you should have already checked 2 of the boxes that you completed the N-400 and noted any red flags, and already added your name and signature. Next, you'll complete the fee waiver screening guide to see if your client may be eligible for a fee waiver, and if so, you'll go on to complete the fee waiver itself. Now, we'll talk about who is eligible for a fee waiver. We'll talk about this in preferential order. There are 3 ways that you can be eligible for a fee waiver. One is quite simple, the second is slightly more complicated, and the third is so complicated that we can't do it at a citizenship workshop. First, there are people who receive means-tested benefits. That is a benefit based on your income level that's awarded by a public agency, such as the local government, state government, or federal government. The second is people with household incomes below 150% of the federal poverty line. The third are people with extreme and unusual economic hardship. As you can probably guess from the name, this is a much rarer form of a fee waiver, requires a lot of documentation, and isn't something that we're able to do at a citizenship workshop. Practically speaking, means-tested benefits are the easiest to complete and have the highest rate of approval. Household income-based fee waivers are moderately difficult. We only use these for the clients who do not receive any type of means-tested benefit. They require more proof, more documentation, and are subjected to a higher level of scrutiny than the means-tested benefit. The third, extreme and unusual hardship, are almost never approved, and we cannot complete them at a citizenship workshop. They just require too much paperwork and information. And it's very important to note that while many clients may both receive a means-tested benefit and be below 150% of the poverty line, they only need to qualify based on one of these 2 criteria, not both. It's very important to fill out only one pathway, not both pathways on the fee waiver application. Now I want to speak for a little bit about some upcoming changes. USCIS is implementing a new fee schedule beginning 12/23/2016, or just after our December 4th workshop in 2016. People under 150% of the poverty line or receiving a means-tested benefit will still qualify for a waiver as normal. But people who are between 150% and 200% of the poverty line will be eligible for a reduced fee of $320 plus a biometrics fee. People above 200% of the poverty line will need to pay the full fee, and this full fee is actually going up. Because of this, we will advise clients of the new fee schedule and advise clients who are between 150% and 200% of the poverty line to wait until December 23rd, while people who are above 200% of the poverty line will be advised to file immediately. However, we won't be able to complete these middle range reduced fee applications at the December 4th workshop because the paperwork will not be available. We will try to do this at future workshops. Now we're going to talk about screening clients for fee waiver eligibility. We'll talk first about the first pathway, the most preferred pathway, means tested benefits. The first question is, does the client receive a means tested benefit? In other words, food stamps, aka SNAP, EBT or basic food, Medicaid, which is also known as Washington Apple Health in Washington, or supplemental security income for elderly, blind, and disabled clients. Note that supplemental security income is not the same thing as Social Security, which all people are eligible for if they've worked. Did the client, the second question that we need to ask is, did the client bring proof with them today? USCIS will not accept any fee waiver that does not include proof. The gold standard of proof is a recent award letter from a public agency, such as in this case, the example we're using is DSHS, certifying that they receive a benefit. It should have the letterhead of the agency, the client's full name, the date the benefit began, which should be a date in the past, the date the benefit expires, which needs to be a date in the future, and the name of the benefit. It's critically important that the date of the benefit expiring is in the future, proving that they are still receiving that benefit. The reason that USCIS prefers this method is because another public agency has already verified income, and they are willing to take the verification process and effort put in by that public agency somewhat on faith. So they require a lower level of proof and a lower level of scrutiny to these fee waiver applications. Remember, a means tested benefit means that a government agency has evaluated their income in order to award them a public benefit. Now we're going to talk about some common questions about fee waiver eligibility based on means tested benefits. One is, my child receives food stamps or Medicaid, but I don't. Am I eligible? The answer is no. It must be based on the adult who is applying, not a child. Another common question is, my spouse receives food stamps or Medicaid, but I don't. Am I eligible? The answer to this is yes. Because USCIS is looking at all the adults in the household, they're looking at the household income as a whole. As long as you're in the same household with someone receiving means tested benefits, you qualify too. For spouses, this means that they must reside together. So if your spouse is receiving a benefit, but you are separated or live separately, you would not qualify. However, as long as you are married and living in the same house, you would qualify. Now, another question is, am I eligible if I receive Medicare? The answer is no. Medicare is available to everyone 65 and older. It is not a means tested benefit. This is different from the Medicaid program, which is a means tested benefit and is based on income. Another question is, I'm retired and I get my Social Security check every month. Am I eligible? Social Security is not a means tested benefit. It's available to people who have worked based on their work history. Because of this, you may qualify for a fee waiver based on your household income if your Social Security payments and any other income are below 150% of the poverty line, but you will not qualify based on the means tested benefit pathway. We'll talk more about household income in a moment. Next, I receive supplemental security income every month. otherwise known as SSI. Am I eligible? Yes, SSI is a means tested benefit for low-income people who are elderly, blind, or disabled. SSI is easily confused with Social Security, so watch out and make sure that you're talking about an SSI benefit and not a Social Security benefit. One way to verify is that the SSI program is really only available for aged, blind, or disabled persons with low income. So if the client sitting in front of you does not fit that definition, they would not be an SSI client. Next, we'll talk about the second pathway, household income. Again, it's important to check if they have a means tested benefit first. This is our preferred option. It's much easier to fill out and much easier to be approved. So if it's possible to apply based on a means tested benefit, that is the first option. However, if they don't receive any means tested benefit, you can proceed with a household income fee waiver. If the client or the client's spouse does not receive any means tested benefit, see if the client is eligible based on their household income. They will need their most recent tax return and check stubs for the months not covered by the tax return. For example, at our October 2016 Citizenship Clinic, that meant the 2015 tax return and check stubs covering the period January through September or October 2016. For our December 2016 workshop, that means a full year of check stubs plus their 2015 tax return. The reason this is necessary is because USCIS looks for a full year of information. And if there's a gap in there, they will assume that the gap is there because you received too much income that month and it would have put you over the line. So it's important to show them a full year's worth of documentation. Now remember, fee waivers are based on household income, so all adults in the household count toward the income limit. A good rule of thumb is that if they file taxes together with someone, they count as a member of the household. This chart is created by USCIS to help determine the cutoff. It's based on the federal income cutoff for poverty, the poverty line, but it calculates 150%. So it's relatively easy to look at. First, what you'll need to do is help the client determine their household size. And you'll have copies of this chart at your desk. Once you know their household size, you'll show them the household income limit for their household size. Oftentimes, many clients will be able to see right away if they do or do not qualify. If they're not quite sure, then you should go and look at their actual paperwork and determine whether or not they do qualify. Here's a quick quiz based on the chart on the previous slide. This example of a family of four whose total income is $32,655 per year, would they be qualified for a fee waiver based on household income? Answer is yes. As you can see from the chart, the family's household is less, the income is less than 150% of the poverty line, and so they do qualify based on this measure. So now we're going to talk a little bit about screening clients for fee waiver eligibility based on household income. For an income-based waiver, the income of every adult in the household is counted. It's also very important that the household size listed on the fee waiver matches the household size listed on the most recent tax return. There are legitimate reasons that household size would not match. For example, if they got divorced in the last year or had a child since filing their taxes. However, if you come across this, please flag down one of the BIA experts to help you because this can be a problem with getting their fee waiver approved. Also, remember that unemployment checks, child support are both income as well and must be included in your calculations. Now we'll talk about completing fee waivers at citizenship clinics. If possible, you should follow along with the real I-912 for the next section of slides. It will make the training much easier to understand. Currently, we use the older version of the I-912, which you should have received by email. However, there's a newer version of the I-912, which we'll be switching over to sometime in the future. If you Google I-912 or go to the website listed below, you will find the newer version, which is slightly different. So we'll start with part 1. Lines 1 through 4 ask you to complete basic information about your client, such as their name, a number, and birth date, marital status, etc. It's very important to ensure that this information matches the N400, particularly the name on their green card must be exactly as it is on the fee waiver, even if it's misspelled or incorrect. For line 5, you're going to write in N400 application when it asks the type of application that this should go with. Part 2 is ask about dependents. Because everyone must apply for citizenship on their own, no one should list dependents in this section. This box is here because fee waivers can be submitted with other types of forms, such as adjustment of status for refugees or asylees, applications for trafficking victims, and other types of immigration benefits. Some of these types of applications do allow people to list dependents as beneficiaries, but citizenship does not. Citizenship is an individual process, so you shouldn't list any dependents here. Each applicant must apply alone. So this section should always be blank. On the next page, in section 3, you will note the basis of your request. These are the pathways we've been talking about. Number 1 is the means tested benefit. This is the best option. You should always use it if it is possible. Number 2 is the income-based pathway. This is our second choice. And again, we do not complete number 3, the hardship waivers at citizenship clinics. You must choose only one. Most clients who qualify under a means tested benefit will also qualify under 150% of the poverty line. However, it's very important that you only fill out one. If you have the option to choose means tested benefit, always choose means tested benefit. If not, choose income based. This is a situation where adding more information actually will make their application be denied rather than strengthening it. So we'll go through how you would fill out the form, both for the means tested benefit option and the income-based option. In this case, we'll be talking about a means tested benefit client. So first, you'll check the box in line 7A, saying that they qualify under the means tested benefit. And then you'll move to section 4, the next section, and put in the information requested. This includes their name, the name of the agency awarding the benefit, the date the benefit was awarded, which should be a date in the past, and you should be able to check yes, that they're still receiving the benefit now. If they are not receiving the benefit now, they're not eligible under this pathway. Now, you will need to skip the next 2 sections, section 5 and section 6. Section 5 is only for people filling out the household income pathway, and section 6 is only for people filling out the hardship application. If you are filling out a fee waiver correctly, there's actually going to be more blank space than there will be space that's filled out. This may feel weird, but it's actually exactly correct. Now, again, you only want to fill out section 4 or section 5 and leave section 6 blank always. So if you are doing a fee waiver for someone based on their income, you will hit line 7B based on income. You will skip section 4, means tested benefit, leave it completely blank, and start filling out the information requested in section 5. That includes their household size, their household income, this is monthly income, and any additional income such as child support or unemployment. Then you will total that information, the monthly income and additional income, and write the total in the bottom. As a double check, multiply this number, this monthly income number, line 12 and check it again against the chart. Don't forget to include other income such as unemployment and child support. You should always leave section 6 blank. Do not ever fill out anything in this section. This is only for hardship waivers, which we do not complete at citizenship workshops. Finally, you'll need to go to section 7. Do not forget to have the client sign. It's very important and is one of the most common errors that we see. And if they don't have all of their documentation with them, make sure that they know that they must include the documentation before they mail the fee waiver or it will be denied. If for some reason their tax information does not match the information on the fee waiver, they will need to include documentation and explanation that explains that difference. Again, if you run across the situation, you should flag down a BIA expert or other expert in the room. Again, it's very important to attach proof of eligibility to the application. USCIS will not accept any fee waiver when there is not proof attached. The award letter of benefits is the best proof to include for a benefits-based waiver. Here's an example you can see on your screen, where for an income-based waiver, you need to include tax return and check stubs for all months since that last tax return was filed. So that's their tax return plus check stubs for every single month. If there's a month missing, USCIS will generally assume that that's because this month they had higher income that would have put them outside of the barrier. If they have the same income every month, sometimes you can get away with missing 1 or 2 months, but we really try to avoid that. So without proof attached, the waiver will be denied without question. So it's very important that they include proof before they mail it. However, it is incredibly common that clients don't have proof with them at the clinic. If they don't have the benefits letter with them, ask them what proof they do have. Often they'll have an EBT card, a WIC coupon, or other different kind of proof. Use this and probe with them a little bit to make sure that their benefits are current, that they're still receiving the benefit. And then make sure that you understand, that you explain to them clearly that they need to go to the office of the benefit awarding agency and get a benefits letter. You see on your screen some pictures of what the Medicaid or Washington Apple Health card or EBT card or WIC coupons look like. However, unfortunately, a photocopy of these is not sufficient proof. So again, you need to explain that they need to go and get a benefits letter. It's your responsibility to ensure that they understand they must include proof. Again, I can't stress this strongly enough. If you complete their fee waiver application at a citizenship workshop, but they don't have proof with them, it's your responsibility to give them clear instructions and to stress that it's important that they include that letter before they mail their application. The entire application will be returned to the client without this letter. A copy of their EBT or Apple Health card will not work as proof, unfortunately. If time allows and you don't have anyone waiting for your help, you can look up the nearest DSHS office or other appropriate office to give them the address and help them make a plan for going to get that letter. Now we're going to talk about common mistakes on fee waiver applications. One is confusing Medicaid with Medicare. Medicaid is a means-tested benefit that offers health benefits for people who are low income. Medicare is available to everyone over 65 regardless of income and is not a means-tested benefit. Similarly, Supplemental Security Income, SSI, is different than Social Security. SSI is a means-tested benefit for people who are elderly, blind, or disabled. Social Security is available to everyone at 62 years and older. Another common mistake is the applicant checks both boxes on page 2, section 3, indicating that they qualify based on means tested benefit and on income. It's very important to pick one path and follow only the headers that refer to that path, not to check both. And again, if we have the option, we always use the means tested benefit option. We use income as a backup when means tested benefits is not a viable option. Another common mistake is that the application has any information under the economic hardship section, section 6. There should never be any information, any writing in this section. It should always be left completely blank. Now, we'll talk a little bit about common reasons that fee waivers are denied. For benefits waivers, the most common reason is that clients do not attach a recent award letter from DSHS or another benefits agency. Again, recent means within the last 3 months. Generally speaking, the lack of proof is the most common reason that fee waivers are denied. For income-based waivers, that often means the client does not submit documentation for the full previous 12 months. For example, they only submit a 2015 tax return, but no check stubs for 2016. Another common problem is inconsistencies between the tax return and the I-912 application, especially regarding household size. If you run into this, again, please flag down an expert to help you. For both types of waivers, another common mistake is very simple. Clients forget to sign the application. It will not be accepted if it's not signed. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about how the application process works with a fee waiver. The client sends the I-912 together with the N-400 in one packet. If the fee waiver is accepted, the client will get a note from USCIS saying that their application is in process and will proceed with the application for citizenship normally. If the fee waiver is denied, the client will be returned their entire packet, and they'll have the opportunity to either fix the problem with the fee waiver and resubmit, or send in a check and money order for $680 with their application. $680 is the fee prior to December 23rd, 2016. Again, it's very important that you don't forget to fill out the tracking form. Once you've completed the fee waiver screening guide, determined your client's eligible, and completed the fee waiver application if they are indeed eligible, make sure you add any important notes and then put in where the client should be directed next in the send to station number gray box in the corner. Generally speaking, this will be to station 4, attorney review. Please let us know if you have any questions or concerns. We're here to help. We'd love to hear from our volunteers. We'd love to answer any questions. Also, if you have any questions, you can ask them to your station lead the morning of Citizenship Day. We'll do a little refresher training then. Thank you so much for volunteering your time and for attending this training. We look forward to seeing you at Citizenship Day.